Hey guys, Mariana Trench Creations here. Yes, this is the first video, or maybe second, I think it's the first, where I'm actually saying Mariana Trench Creations as my new channel name, because before I just hadn't created the channel, of course. My videos had been recorded before 2025. But yes, now we're here and I'm Mariana Trench Creations. And today we'll be unboxing and reviewing the Kwazii and the Octobot Station. And I don't usually like to mention dates and stuff in videos just because people watch them at different times, but today is quite a special day. It's the 12th of January, the day when I first, it's been a year since I got the Min figure pack, which was great because that was the rarest pack ever and one I really wanted. So that's why I remember this day. And also, earlier today, I just found out that Journey to China Season 2 is coming, and the trailer was out and there are a few images, but I won't say any more about that because that's probably old news by the time this video comes out. So anyways, let's get into it. Now, I've been waiting to unbox this for a couple months now. You may have heard in the Guppy review and the first video on my new channel, which is actually also airing today, that I've been waiting so long to open this pack. And this is actually a used set. I don't usually get used sets. This may be the first, although I'm pretty sure I got a few Gup speeders in a pack that were in very good condition that were used. I think it was the Gup, it was like the first ones ever created, but I just hadn't had them at the beginning. It was like the Gup A, B, F, R, and something or other. But other than that, I don't tend to get used sets. All of this you see here were bought new and in box. Some are magazine toys here. So yeah, the condition is used, but it did come with the box, which is great. I'd be less inclined to get it if it didn't come with the box, and there are only a few scuff marks, a bit on Kwazii's nose. Of course, I'll show you when we actually open it, but there's also a few scuff marks on the helmet as well. But I think the rest of it's fine, just Kwazii in the helmet. Now this thing is really dusty. I think the seller just had in quite a bit of dust, and me leaving out for 2 months has increased that. But in terms of the packaging, I have to hold it further back now. So Kwazii and the Octobot Station. Yeah, I guess the name works. Kwazii, Octobot, and Station. And Explore, Rescue, Protect, the usual stuff. Includes Isopod and Octo-Grabber. Well, I think we can kind of see that. Isopod, Octo-Grabber. I mean, did they really need to specifically add that in? I will say though, when you're looking at the box from even straight on, or from this side, all you can see is Kwazii, the Grabbers, and a bit of the station. This curve really cuts off what you can see. It's a lot easier when you look at it this way, but yeah, I don't think that was really done well. But fish price, yeah, that says 13 plus years, you know, so it's definitely not made for kids. Yeah, these things are a little creased as well, these sticky outy bits. Octobot spins, that's good to know. I can't wait to test that out. By the looks of the thing it spins on, that is a lot thicker than what the Octonauts stand on, so Kwazii won't be able to stand on there normally. So they got the Gup A and they cut it over to the next side of the box, which is nice. They've just got an image of everything with Kwazii wearing the helmet, the Octobot on the station, just the name and Octonauts again. Fish price. Yeah, they've got the whole crew at the bottom again, like they do. Miyomi, I always call it Miyomai, but it's Miyomi. Fisher Price, Silvergate. The other sets, that Barnacles and Tunip, I believe that was what it was actually called. Peso and the Narwhal, Shellington and the Swell Shark, and of course this sort of style. They did make a few others. Kwazii and the Volcano Rescue, I don't actually have that one. Peso and the Giant Comb Jelly, I didn't bring those sets out either. Peso and the Medical Buggy, Barnacles and the Steering Pod, the on-the-go steering pod or whatever it is, and Shellington and the Eyesore, Kwazii and the Deep Sea Adventure. I think those are most of them, if not all, of this sort of style, with quite a few things. In the first video of this channel, as I said, which is airing on the day I'm recording this, has all the images of all, or most of the fish price items I have, so you can check that out for references. Anyways, well, yeah, we are back at the box. Gives a little description. You can read that. Isopod includes everything for a Midnight Zone mission. Well, you could argue it doesn't, because it doesn't have a Gup or whatever, or even an air tank. How are you supposed to survive in the ocean without an air tank? But you know, it's not supposed to mean anything. It tells you again the Octobot can spin and roll to the rescue. And again, it says includes Isopod and Octo-Grabber. I don't know why that's of any significance, but they put it there anyway. Don't think I've missed anything. Just the normal writing. This was the side we checked. This side doesn't have anything because it's just bottom. Yeah, the seller taped it up quite nicely. I hope I don't have to go through much tape to open it though. And we'll transfer to the bottom. That's upside down. 2014 this was made, so of course I think the Guppy was also 2014 when we unboxed and reviewed it. The Min and Shellington were of course 2018. And general information, nothing too special there. Oh wait, it says 2013-14. Wonder if... we'll see what it says on the characters and the stuff. Perhaps it was produced in 2013 and actually released in 2014, or it's had two releases in 2013 and 14. It was released in both years. Again, not really sure how it works. Yeah, scissors, very dangerous. Not this is definitely not a kids video. This thing's really annoying. Can't get in there. You know what? Let's get Kwazii out. Why not? Let's free him from this box. Oh, the Octo-Grabbers have already decided to disappear. Come on, Kwazii. There we go. We got him out. And he does look good, and plastic looks really good quality. Feels really good quality, actually, compared to stuff like the Shellington from the Guppy. Here are the Octo-Grabbers. Let's get them out. That's interesting. I'll let you know what I meant by that. Come on, Isopod. Now, I will say this while I got the Isopod and the Grabbers out. These two are repeats. They've released them before, or should I say they've released them after, and this is the original release of them. Because this came with the Midnight Zone Guppy, or Deluxe Guppy, whatever you want to call it, and this came with the Guppy, and both were released, I'm pretty sure, after this set, so these are actually the duplicates, even though I'm getting these afterwards myself. But we'll talk about that when we get into the review. Now, we've still got two things, oh, sorry, three, I forget when you can't see anything here. Still in there, and those are going to be tough because they're big items. I just stabbed myself. No worries. Well, that is rubbery. It is out. That looks good. Pretty sturdy as well. I'd say, yeah, everything in this pack seems really sturdy. Oh, this is going to be fun. Getting this thing out when it's the size of the box. Okay, that came off. I expect that's supposed to come off, and I didn't break it. Okay, we're going to use excessive force. There we go. That's also pretty sturdy. And now we can put this to the side and forget we ever ripped it open. I'll keep it at the back here, actually. So, what shall we go into first? I really want to go into the Octobot Station, but we'll save the best for last and start with our favourite character, Kwazii. Well, actually, my favourite character is Shellington, but Kwazii is probably second. Let me move the light. Now, the glare is sort of hard to see now. There isn't too much reflective stuff from the box. But here is Kwazii. As you can see, there's the scuffs on his nose and a bit on his focus camera, bit on his hat and face. Let me just have a look off over the camera. Yeah, a bit of a scuff there. And a bit of paint on the tail, but nothing too excessive, thankfully. Anyway, yes, he's got a yellow suit with grey boots and a grey middle bit with the Octolab on, which is a really cool detail, I think. And what year? Yeah, 2013, because this is a new mold. Because the Octolab, you can sort of feel it, it's not a print as such, it's defined, and his arms and stuff, they haven't shown this before. Let's bring out the swarm of Kwaziis. Now, I'd say Kwazii has had the most releases of any Octonaut by Fisher-Price. As you can see, we've got a full swarm, and I believe we've buried the Kwazii we were just looking at. So, where did he go? Here he is. Now, let me move them back to the side. So, let's start with this guy, who's also grey. There are 3 different shades of grey here. Yeah, different, so can't say much else. The head is the same with mostly all of them, except for ones like this guy. This guy's also grey, but again, he is another shade of grey as well, I believe. In fact, let's get this guy. Grey looks similar between the boots and his hands, but I believe they are still slightly different. This guy, really dark grey, which is different as well. So I don't believe we've got any grey repeats with this guy. Fisher-Price rarely repeated the same suit on a character. They did it a couple times with Kwazii. You can see the 2 deep sea suit ones there as well. But I don't think they did it that much. We do actually have a yellow Kwazii, and I believe the yellow is different. This is more of a darker yellow. The yellow is really reflecting off this guy. And while we've got yellow Kwazii, let's bring in yellow Shellington. The yellow does look pretty similar. Yeah, on the camera as well, you can tell it is actually sort of different yellow as well. So haven't seen much like it. Now let's bring out our couple blue Kwaziis. They did Kwazii in quite a few colours. They didn't do red. They did red Barnacles, Peso. They didn't do Shellington or Dashy. They did a tweak. But here you've got orange and purple. Not too many similarities. And the original. So yeah, they just completely change up the suit. The face is always the same. Well, most of the time. This guy's got a really jolly face, which I like. But he's got like broken plastic in him. So he makes a noise. I believe my Calico Jack did too, but a year or two ago it just stopped and you can't hear it anymore, which is weird, but yeah, he repaired himself internally. I'm gonna move on from Kwazii now. He's had his time to shine, and well, let's move on to the helmet. Why not? So it's got a yellow light, yeah, it does have a scuff mark there. Move it out of the camera's glare, there you go. And apart from that, I think it's mostly alright. Just a bit dusty or something as well. Whoops. And yeah, should say 2013, yeah. So yeah, as we said on the box said 2013-14, so yeah, it was being made in the factory or whatever in 2013. And that's a bit scuffed up as well. Yeah, it feels a little dusty on the inside as well. Yeah, the inside's fine. It's got the 2 holes, mostly just for tweak, I guess. Kwazii as well, because his ears do slightly stick out. And he looks good in this, I'd say. Yeah, the grey matches, and yeah, it fits smoothly. You do need to push this a bit over his mouth to get it over. But yeah, it's got this little gap just for fitting. And we'll compare it to a few other helmets that I've got here. Well, I brought all of the similar ones. Just make sure nobody falls over. And which one do we start with? We've got so many. This one. I think this one's quite sturdy. Some of them, like this one, are also very sturdy, these two. But others, like these, are very sort of loose, and you can, this one too, you can sort of move them around quite a bit. I'm not sure if that's because I've been using them way too much or not. But yeah, it's the same sort of idea, 2 holes and this slit in the back as helmets. It's nice they did these. Sort of a cheap way of creating a hat. And you've pretty much seen all of them. This one's sort of different, but yeah, they've both got a yellow light there. But yeah, let's keep that on you, Kwazii. It sort of fits nicely and it's not going to fall off. It's sort of, stuck on him because of the shape of his head. And you can fit it on other characters. Oh, I did forget actually, I've got a grey Barnacles here to compare Kwazii to and the hat. And it does appear to be very similar grey. I think it is still slightly off, unless mine's faded. Yeah, the Barnacles does look a bit faded, but yeah, could be the same. And also, Calico Jack is, yeah, the same thing as with Barnacles. Maybe bring Barnacles a bit in. It's faded. And yeah, I forgot this with the Kwazii. The legs move, they're not loose, but they're not the stiffest. This arm is fairly loose. This one as well. Let me check his head. Yeah, his head is quite sturdy, not loose when you turn it. It's just the arms. So yeah, that's great. And let's move on to the Isopod. Why not? It's a giant Isopod actually. So with this guy, they coloured his eyes black and gave him the eye inside bits, which are white. And he's got that sort of moustache thing. We've got these outlined spots here, and the 4 legs on either side with 2 sort of arms at the front. And he does look very glossy and shiny. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera. At the bottom, they sort of make it half hollow. What does it say in there? Holding upside down. If I put it in the glare, you can sort of read it, actually. Something the glare is useful for. But it just said made in China, and it has some sort of product code on there. But yeah, it's yellow. I'm not sure we've sort of seen this color before. Although I'm completely wrong, because it does look very similar, if not identical, to this bucket. And that's why I brought it, because I thought it would be similar. So we've got that, and I also brought out this shooter from the blue Octomax suit, which is more green, I'd say, but still similar. And then the Octo Buggy. Don't fall. Yeah, you can sort of tell if I just leave it here. They are pretty much the same color. And then we'll get even bigger with the biggest thing I've brought on this set. But yeah, you can tell that's the same. You can move back, and so can you. And yeah, so compare it to the other Isopod. They didn't paint his eyes on the deluxe Guppy version. What they did with most, if not all, the creatures, they just made them one color, didn't do any painting. I don't mind that. It's a sort of style they do. Yeah, they just don't paint any, they just give it one color and no eyes or any other details on the spots or whatever. But yeah, they are the exact same mold, just different colors, which is always nice. I don't mind when they do that. I just hate it when they give you exactly the same thing, the same creature in the same color or slightly same color. This is different enough for me to find it fine, yellow and green. But of course, 2 Kwaziis in orange isn't really what I wanted. I wish they would have done, I don't know, Kwazii in yellow or some sort of different deep sea suit version. Anyways, oh yeah, I did bring these out from the magazines, these Isopods. So yeah, the magazine ones they made in yellow and blue. They're completely hollow on the inside though, no life in them. So now we've got 4 nice Isopods in blue, yellow, green, and green. The Octo-Grabbers. Now, what I did notice when I opened them is they are fairly stiff when you move them around. Of course, when I use some more, they will loosen up. But if you look at this one, it's completely loose. You can sort of move it around, but this one, you need a bit of force, which is nice. I prefer stiff stuff to loose stuff, you know, like with the heads. But I don't have anything else to compare the Octo-Grabbers to. They created a grey pair with the Kwazii and the Volcano Rescue. I mentioned that earlier. But yeah, I don't have that, so can't compare that. But when I do get the set, I can compare it to these 2. But yeah, I always like the Octo-Grabbers. It's nice they made blue. And of course now to go with the orange and then a grey. Let's put them in his hands. There we go. Sometimes when I do this, I put it the wrong way up. You want it to have the Octolet on the top instead of that turny thing. So there we go, he's got them on. Let's put his helmet back on as well. Keep him there with his Isopod. This Isopod can go back, so can the Octo-Grabbers. Now, I want to move on to the station, so that when we get onto the Octobot, we can put him on the station. Now, as it showed when I unboxed, this thing can come off. It's just, yeah, basically a knob which attaches in there. Not sure what else you could put in there. This is just like standard things. Yeah, that's way too small to attach on. I feel like I've seen stuff like this which can attach on. In fact, I wonder if... No, this is the exact same as the bucket. If I ever find out, I'll put it on a video. But yeah, this is slanted, as you can see, when it's stuck in straight. Because, yeah, that would be straight, but it's like this. And when it's on, you can, of course, spin it around, which is nice. The date should say 2013 as well, and it does. And on there, it shows the orange Octobot, which is sort of the one that came with the playset, and a few other dials and different things, which is always nice, and an Octolet at the top. I like this stuff that they do, them little details, it's always nice. Sticker looks like it's coming off a bit. No, it's just the camera, maybe. And they also have these buttons which are sort of, you can feel them, and the side bits, which is great. Now what I found was this thing is really loose. whatever you do, it'll fall right back in. And the handle is a little small to hold, and it doesn't come out of the back. But yeah, if you pull it, I don't know if you can tell, but this thing is spinning. And if you do turn this, yeah, all the way this way, it does go straight in. And if you do it the other way, it comes out, which is nice. I love how they have this little feature. It's not just you put the Octobot on and that's it. And on here, I'm not sure we've seen anything like this blue drawer, or whatever you want to call it. It's got an Octo alert and a few other box details, and it's sort of got these lines across here which you can feel over. Feels quite nice. But this side it's just plain, and of course there's nothing inside. You can look inside the station there as well. They've got this barrier here. You can see this yellow bit sticking out to stop it from going any further back, if it can anyway. And yeah, it's sort of, you'd expect it to be open drawer, so you know, the other way around, like this when you open it, so you can, I guess, put stuff in. But no, you can't. You can't even put the Isopod in. He's too big. Upside down if you wanted to. You can, however, put Cupcake in. Whoops. There we go. Now it's stuck there. Whoops. Uh-oh. What have I done? There we go. Got him out. Put that in the bucket. And what else? Yeah, the back is just plain. It's got a little mark there, which isn't ideal. And it's sort of got these two, I guess, pipes going down, or cables, which nice details, where the screws going as well. This thing also, it's this way, yeah, 2013. This side, sort of see it has a circle where the Octobot goes, and then little steps, but it's just a slope for it to roll down. Now, I always thought from images and stuff, this thing was sort of really long and thinner across here, but it turns out to be very short and fat this way. But yeah, it's sort of got nice curves. It's not sort of square shape. It's just, you know, got a nice texture. This bit is open and very dusty in there. I want to get that out. And it is fairly light, I'd say. I mean, it's what you'd expect. It's, I guess, similar, a bit lighter than the Octo Buggy. Don't fall over, Kwazii. Okay, just stay sleeping. Okay, last thing, the Octobot. Now, looking at him, he's not very accurate to the one in the show. As you can see, it's sort of here. And also, this and this Veggiebot are definitely more accurate. Oh yeah, I forgot to show this thing. As I said, the Octobot fits on there. Not sure what else would, because it's quite a thick knob. I'll have to see if I can find anything that will. But let's just look a bit more at him. He's got Octo-Alert sticker in the middle, and these arms which move all the way around. Thankfully, they're a bit loose on the inside, but at different points they are fairly sturdy and stiff. They didn't paint this with a light or anything, which is sort of annoying, because it's pretty much the same on here, but they didn't paint anything, which is a shame. But yeah, it's got these 3 wheels which are really loose. I haven't seen wheels like this, I don't think, in any other items. But yeah, and this hexagon shape to fit in there. And the back also says 2013. It's got the bolts, I guess, going all the way around at the bottom. It's orange with, you know, grey stuff. And this came with a magazine, just showing. I mean, I like the Octobot. I sort of wish it was more accurate, but they made so many variations of different things that it's sort of alright. Whatever they do, not very consistent. This bubble filter, though, is pretty accurate. This sort of has the same, you know, things, you know, with the wheels, except it doesn't actually have wheels. They just thought, oh, we'll pretend it has wheels, but we won't actually do them like we did here. And it's sort of got a smaller hexagon than there. But yeah, no, that can't fit on there. And then, let's get, I'll just quickly show this. Can't remember what number the orange one was. This one says 3. I feel like it was, I don't know, 2 or something. I can't exactly remember. But some more Lego Octobots. This orange one came with the GUP E and D. These two, I believe one or if not both, came with the GUP I. And then I made these two myself, custom Octobots. They're not really specific ones, but yeah. And now let's attach him to Kwazii Station. Fairly simple. Not sure how far. Yeah, I don't think I push it down anymore. It is fairly stiff on there. It's definitely not coming off. Sticks down very well. But yeah, you can see it spins around. Really nice. yeah, I like that. It's pretty cool. And then, okay, wait. Oh, that was hard. And you can sort of drive him off. And yeah, the wheels, he rolls pretty well, actually, before stop trying to crash into Kwazii. Yeah, otherwise he sort of tumbles over if you do it too hard. Let's put his arms up at the back. Maybe that'll give him more push. Yeah, that's nice. I like how it rolls because the Vegiebot rolls as well. That one rolls really well. Oh, we just killed barnacles. Yeah, these two both roll now. None of the others do, which is a shame. Even this one sort of has the fake wheels, like the bubble filter. But yeah, again, instead of pulling out the thing, you can sort of turn the Octobot to move the drawer. And yeah, that is really tough to get on and off. Yeah, as it showed somewhere, you can also put the Isopod on there, fits nicely. So this set, everything is really sturdy, from the helmet, Kwazii, yeah, everything is well made. Probably one of the best sets well made that I've opened in a while. I even think the quality of all three other sets I unboxed, the Min, Shallington, the Frogfish, the Guppy, their quality was nowhere near as good as this one. And this one's used, of course. It's a great set. And a rating, I really like this set and been trying to get it for a while. I'd give it a 8 or a 9. I don't want to, you know, make it a super favorite set and all. Yeah, I don't have any downsides, I guess, for the Isopod, the Grabbers, or the helmet. I prefer the bigger helmets though, you know, the thick plastic, not the rubbery bendy ones. But yes, still great set. And in terms of the Octobot, we don't really see this too often either. And Kwazii as well is really well made, and I love his Octo-Lab suit. This isn't Fisher-Price's fault, but I just wish that nose scuff wasn't there. It's sort of very visible to me. And this thing is really good. I'm not sure if all of them are loose like this, or it's just because it's used, someone's, you know, used it too much. I feel like this set doesn't seem to be very used, so I'm thinking it's just how Fisher-Price do it. But yeah, I wish it was just a bit less loose. I know it's hard to do that because it's sort of something that it's a moving part. You can't really, you know, change how that moves. But if they just, you know, tightened the stuff on the side of this thing, or made it more rubbery so it was harder to open and close. And this thing as well, I love it, and it's great that you can take it off. Don't know why you would, but it's still great. But yeah, let's put this Octobot on for the last time, because he most likely won't come off there. Definitely an 8 or 9 set. Yeah, I'll be generous and give it a 9 because I'm struggling to find flaws in it, any type of flaw. Of course, this was 2013-14, so Fisher-Price had been running for a couple, 2-3 years, and then they finished in 2018, so this was sort of in the middle of their production, and I guess because of, you know, inflation, prices and stuff, the quality went down towards 2016, 17, 18. But yeah, this might have been their Fisher-Price's prime time for creating items. So definitely 8, 9 set. And would I recommend it for you guys? Yes. And yeah, I'm also great that I've got the box here. Please make sure to like and subscribe, share this video, and look at the other reviews of the Min, Shallington, the Guppy. Please let me know in the comments below if you have this set or you want it, or, you know, if you do have it, what you think of it. I'd love to get a conversation going down below. Well, I guess I'll see you next time. So, Mariana Trench Creations, signing out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.